afternoon, or good evening, I should say. Welcome back to the Dugout Football channel. It is another match preview, the rescheduled game between Liverpool and Leeds United. Yes, the Boxing Day game that was meant to have happened, but because of a lot of COVID cases in the Leeds camp, it was postponed, and now Liverpool have the chance to go 3 points behind Manchester City. But to do that, they have to beat a very struggling Leeds United side. But joining me to preview is my very good friend and my right-hand man of the Totally Levy and Horne podcast. It is Mr. Carl Levy. How are you, Carl?
I am very good, thank you. Enjoying a bit of my day off, as always. Interesting 24 hours we had. I was working yesterday while watching the Premier League game. I had a lot of my American colleagues disagreeing with certain things. Then being on the MU agenda, just talking about the match review. And yeah, it was, it's been an interesting 24 hours. But let's go down. We've got to talk about straight to the point. You know what you want to talk about, so let's just get on with it.
Absolutely. Guys, there are my socials there. You can find me on Facebook at Douglas James Horne. You can find me on Instagram at Douglas.Horne. Twitter at Enrod_1992, which is right there. And also I'm on Twitch as well, twitch.tv/Douglas Horne LFC 92. And yes, we are on the road to, well, that should say 1.7k, but it says 2k. I don't know why. Anyway, but let's start with the match preview. Yeah. Leeds United sitting 15th at the moment, Carl. Where has it gone wrong this season?
Just injuries has been critical. I know there was some people was questioning some excuse from yesterday when I was on the MU agenda. I can deal with that, but injuries, when you have first team players injured, that is the problem. And then people say, "Oh, you should have bought players," and Bielsa is overrated, a clown. Right? No, it's not Bielsa's not a clown. It's just one of those things that we just never got to work. Why this is happening? It's like a curse on us at the moment, So I think what Bielsa's trying to do, he's just trying to keep trying to get everything going, and because the other teams have either invested wisely, get players in January. We didn't, because at the moment we don't want to do what Norwich did a couple of seasons ago, and that's what we're trying to do. We're not trying to be doing that on a basis like Norwich. We're trying to be more sustainable in a way, and but having 10 players out it's bad. It's been horrible. It's been a horrible time for us. We've never seen that at Elland Road in my lifetime for a long time.
And obviously, like yesterday, like I know you lost to Manchester United like 4-2, but see when it went to 2-2, did you have a feeling that maybe you could get something out of the game? Because yet again, I don't know how to say this, but Manchester United don't have a 90 minutes in them. They don't have a 90-minute mentality in them. So I was very, very shocked at the way that they capitulated. But then it reminded me of the Aston Villa game where they capitulated very, very quickly. And then, obviously, look, we have to say that the Rodrigo goal, is a cross-com shot. I think it's safe to say. I think he was looking for somebody to, come in to get ahead on that. And then all of a sudden, like, Dan James burst free into the box, and there's Raphina. I mean, were you surprised Raphina didn't start yesterday?
Very surprised. I know he's been out of form, to quite honest with you, but it was a big call from Bielsa to drop him. And that, I think that first since after the 20 minutes, the first 10 minutes, we did try to press really hard. Man United did handle the game, and I think Harrison really struggled, and I think we just needed someone, to be a bit more front. And I think playing Dallas in the midfield before Struijk had to go off. Well, no, sorry, Koch had to go off his injury, and that really had to change the tactics. And I think what had happened was Leeds, we had to make the decision to bring Raphina on at halftime, which we were 2-0 down. I don't think it would have been much change. Would be any change if we were 1-0 down, but because we were 2-0 down, the changes had to come, and especially bringing on Joe Gelhardt and Raphina. We've been questioning why Gelhardt should be starting. If he's, why are you playing someone like Dan James? Yeah, he's done okay. He's done quite well, Dan James, but we need someone who's going to be out of striker, and and Gelhardt sets the tone. He can be a game changer. We've seen the game against Woes early in the season, and he did it quite. He was successful to get and Woes were scared, and we got the penalty in the end. So it's been quite a tough one to put a finger what is to blame. It's been mainly the injuries and so forth, to play a part, and also I think it's just been the injuries.
Yeah. I'll just say hello to a few people because there are a few people in here. I did see Niall, afternoon, Douglas and Carl. Hope you're both well. We are good, thank you. As Niall says, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you are new, and share the stream as well. Good evening to Douglas and Carl. Hello, Douglas and Carl. Jade, thank you very much. Yes, you can. Yes. Obviously, I did post it
now. How many years is it now?
It was 8 years ago. 8 years ago, I was on Countdown. Yeah.
And I started living in Edinburgh in 2013. That is such a lot,
That's scary. That is very, very scary how it's been 8 years. But time flies. Nelson, hello to Jade. Hello, Hannah Alone. Thank you for tuning in. Proud Terriers going lol. Laughing.
I know. I knew there was a arrival. Someone from Huddersfield will be coming to us. Yeah. Do you know what? Let me tell you something. I did have a cousin who did play for you lot. Yeah. So I put some respect to that. I do respect
Proud Terriers, can I just say, not many teams go to Fulham and win. Kudos to you guys. Great result. Absolutely fantastic result against Fulham. Absolutely fantastic. Jade has said hello to Niall. Are you okay, Jade? I'm better, thank you. That's good, Jade, to hear. That's brilliant. I'm glad to hear it, pal. So, another way of some sort of summarising your season, Bielsa hasn't really changed his ways, has he? Like, he's only got one style of play, and look, you're very, very entertaining to watch. If I had a season ticket for Leeds United, I would be very, very entertained with the way you play. It's just defensively, you're really, really not looking good. Do you think? And obviously, there has been a lot of questions potentially that this could be Bielsa's last season.
Yeah, listen, Bielsa has plan A. There's, a lot of coaches have plan B, C, D to 99999. You know what? That's what it is. But Bielsa has always plan A. He will stay the same style. What is the point? We're not going to sit here, play park the bus. We're not like that. We don't want to be like that. But you're right. We do need to be better defensively. We not have the best defenders. The core of the squad are championship players. Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
The only players you could say is Premier League quality, and the two of them is probably Dan James, Raphina, and Calvin Phillips. And you probably could put Luke Ayling and Struijk in there because they are, but the rest of the squad are not championship. They're not Premier League players as standard what we see. So for us, they're the ones who can fit the tactic. If Bielsa had a bigger budget, would most of those players that we have in contract would be there? Probably not. There will be more car and will be more high up in the table. It is simple as that. It's one of those things that we don't have. We don't have like you lot do, like City, Chelsea, even now Newcastle have that now. So we don't have that. The only thing we have is a half a multi-millionaire and also a state owned by the 49ers. I don't know how long. I don't know if they're going to put so much investment if they do buy it outright for Radizani. So it's a question mark at the moment. But with Bielsa this season, the more murmurs about his situation, his contract, I think this is more serious than we have to take now because this is now kind of worrying that he might not sign a contract beyond the end of the season. And to be bluntly honest, I can't, we've seen his contract being running down till, don't be getting announced till like the couple of days before the season starts. I think now because the club are making contingency plans, because this could happen again. It was like 4 years ago, we had the same situation and we didn't know Bielsa was going to sign. He signed an extension in his second season with us. But now this is another situation with Ada. I think with the names we relate to in Valverde and Jesse March, I think the two most likable. I think the third one you could put is Carlos Corberan, what he's done at Huddersfield, because what he did at the under-23s under Bielsa was magnificent. So they have 3 managers, but I think Jesse March is probably more of a better target fit for us if Bielsa does go. We'll see what happens where the club is next season, because I think it depends where we are. I think Bielsa will have to decide what he wants to do after the last game against Brentford.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Hello, Tom May. Thank you for tuning in. Evertonian as well. You'll be a bit worried about I mean, Everton have fallen off a cliff, haven't they? They really have. But the one question I want to ask you, because obviously I know that Tom is a big Evertonian. Are you worried about going down? You are 5 points above the relegation zone.
Well, as my dad's been saying to me the last couple of weeks, we only need at least four games to stay out. But it depends on other results. We saw Burnley winning at a fantastic result against Brighton, and then all of a sudden, even not Watford getting the points as well. It's just at the moment, it's hard. It's hard, and we don't know where that next pot's going to be. I think because in this game and the Spurs are going to be toughest game, but I think after the break, I think we get a little bit better fixtures because we have to play some of the bottom teams. I think we still need to play Norwich at home as well as I think Watford away as well too, and I think Burnley. I think we play Burnley away, so we're done with that. And also we have to play Everton. We're playing Everton already, so we got like such as Brentford and all the other teams around us. We need to play against. So the results will be a little bit better, but we kind of need to make sure to get some. What I'm in my own mind, to be honest here, I don't see this game and the Spurs game as winnable games for us. To be quite honest, I don't think I really care about it much. So I'd rather we just take, we just take not the wins, but we don't know which side leads will come, and it will be better because without Phillips and Cooper, we have to wait till March for them.
Yeah. And injuries have been a big parcel of Leeds this season. Wednesday, thank you, Rachel. That would be a dream come true, but I don't think that would ever happen, to be honest. I will get to that. I have got a wee banner for that. I think the way it's going, Everton will win their home games, get some points away, maybe lose some. Hope it will be enough to not make us drop. Yeah. Absolutely. I think that is a very, very fair assessment as well. I suppose another reason where you're struggling, no January incomings. What was your? Obviously, you did the transfer deadline day show with me, the 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock one.
Yeah.
Were you concerned at the time knowing that nobody was coming in?
I think concern, yes, but not as much because we felt like this is what Leeds was going to do and this was the part of the start. If something did change, there was opportunity. I think trying to get Anderson from Salzburg was going to be a bit impossible because the situation that Salzburg was in with their Champions League knockout stages, and they will get beyond that. So it was a bit impossible for it to get him. There was linked to get with Luis O'Brien from Russia. I don't think that's going to happen now. I think there's more chances he's going to sign a long-term contract, contract. He's been successful. He's been doing well at the club. I think the club is a huge value because at the moment, what we are hearing from Huddersfield that his contract might be more secure because of Dean Hoyle coming back in is more likely. Marcus Evans, the former Ipswich Czech owner, is likely to take over the club about 70%, 65%, and Dean Hoyle comes at 35%. So that's why I think the club might be more secure because of those two owners. Well, Hoyle coming back a little bit more in the day-to-day running. Marcus Evans, that net worth would be around about $1 billion, about £1.5 billion to $2 billion. So I think the club is more secure. So that's why I think for Huddersfield might get to take over and it'll be done and dusted. That's why we won't get Luis O'Brien for a cheap deal.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, I was surprised you didn't do any signings. But as I keep saying, the January window is a very, very hard window to get deals done. Anyway, but I was amazed you didn't get anybody in. If I'm being honest, because especially with the injuries that you've had as well, like you've kind of lost like Calvin Phillips and Patrick Bamford for most of the season. Whenever they played, you've been looking like a better team. But the problem I have is when those two are not there, you look a really, really different team apart from that.
Yeah. Phillips is that anchor. He's an anchor in that squad when in that defensive field. When he's not around, we don't have a like for like. And so with Bamford, 17 goals last season. You can't replace someone like that.
No.
But I think the other scorer was I think it was Harrison was the second top goal scorer last season. So you can't replace them, and that's the problem. That's been the issue. And do you know what? I think because of how much we spent last season on over £100 million, I think because of the we still have to pay the wipers. So you should have got your money back now, but it's not the point. The point is we have to we're paying players wages as well, so we don't have enough money, such as to pay left, right, centre to get a player. It's not as simple as that, because we're trying to run a different model. But I think what we're trying to do is try to be like City, but we're trying to add more close to what I've been hearing now and again for what Razani wants to do. But because of the 49ers ownership is likely to take to at least 2 or 3 years to buy the rest of the remaining stake from Ranizani, which that includes the stadium as well as the training ground.
Yeah,
it's a race against time at the moment. What happens? And I think if we do stay up, I think there will be a huge transfer kitty this summer.
Yeah, guys. Yeah, absolutely. Guys, if you are enjoying the stream, remember to hit that like button. And if you are new, please subscribe as well. One Rovers Vlogs, Charlie, thank you for tuning in. Hope you are doing well. Bristol Rovers had a very good result. 3-0 away, I think it was. No, 4-0, I think it was.
Yeah,
4-0 away.
They had a good weekend.
Yeah, definitely. Nelson, big up to Charlie, the Bristol Rovers fan. Hello to the lovely Maisie. Hope you are doing well, Maisie. And Nielsen, hello to Maisie, big up Niall, hey Maisie, and we'll go through them as well. So we'll go for the last meeting. Now, this game was obviously overshadowed by the injury to Harvey Elliot, and obviously Pascal Struijk was red carded. Now, obviously, at the time we all said that it was an unlucky challenge. But I think, the extent of the injury, I think that's why he was sent off. Obviously going into that game, were you surprised how open you actually were? Because if I remember rightly, Sadio Mane had about 10 opportunities to score. He managed to finally get one to score.
Yeah, we were quite open that game. We were very open, and to be honest with you, when Mane had so many chances, Mane could have had a double hat trick against us, to be quite honest with you. It was a bit of a tough game for us. I think that's when we started to see the extent of what was going on with the injury period, what was going on, because it was getting quite tougher and tougher. And with the red card to Struijk, I remember that there was one YouTuber say he should be locked away and all that stuff. I think you remember.
Yeah, do not get me started on that.
I know, because I was fused like you lot were. I'm like, why you think you just want more numbers? No, back to the red card. It wasn't a red card. We all agreed to it. It wasn't a red card. I know Struijk was accidental, and he apologized to Harvey Elliot. And then I think since that incident injury, they've been talking a lot them two just to help, because I think Struijk is a good player, and he's going to be a potential really good player, on the same levels like Van Dijk in the next 5 to 10 years. So I think Harvey Elliot, working his ass off to come back from that horrific injury. To see him last couple of games, he's been terrific, to quite honest with you, and I have to give him credit. And I think I felt, his dad who was in the crowd could see the picture. And he was so proud. I think it was a proud moment because the last thing I want to do for my club is to end someone's career. That's not what we were there to do. So knew he made a mistake with that.
It's quite interesting that obviously you say his dad was in the crowd. There was a rumor going around that Fabinho and Thiago were at the Leeds Manchester United game. Now, obviously, there's been pictures. They've obviously got the lanyards on there. So, are you a wee bit concerned that they could potentially be trying to get Raphina to Liverpool?
It is. This is what I've been worried about, because we thought this is what I felt like this was going to happen. I felt like one of the things was going to happen was if Fabinho was going to be at that game, and one of the other Brazilian contingency players that look from Yolo, I thought, this is a sign that they're trying to get him. It was either they was looking at tactics or they're trying to persuade Raphina John. I think it's more a little bit of that, and that is one thing we don't want to do. Raphina has had a terrific season. He's been a talisman. He's been very important. If he should have played yesterday, and I don't think we would have lost by 2 goals. I think it would have been by 1 goal at least. But because it depends on what was going to happen. But I have to worry about that now, because you lot are investing quite well. You got Luis Diaz. You're buying the players that such as Salah, Sane and Firmino are not going to be playing much, going to be coming to the age of 30. You are finding good targets now, and you're doing it at the right time. I think this is kind of worry for at least on myself or anyone to say if Fabinho don't sign because this is what's stolen because I know Deco and the Leeds board are trying to work it, but I think they're waiting for something to be more concrete from the other top 6 clubs, including yourselves.
Yeah, I think so. And, Liverpool have been one of those sides that have been, really, really interested in Raphina, for sure. That RPG, thank you for tuning in. It's not Dragon Soup. It is Summer Fruits and Lemonade. Summer Fruits and Lemonade is what I'm drinking. But it's definitely not Dragon Soup. Anyway, hello, Chris. Thank you for tuning in. Sebastian, well, we'll come to score predictions a little bit later on in the preview, but Sebastian going for 4-0. This is very interesting. Now the last game at Anfield was quite a thriller, but obviously, times have obviously changed. But that was a game that was sort of penciled in as champions of the Premier League against champions of the Championship, and what a game we actually got. 4-3. You would feel a little bit disappointed that you didn't actually come out of that game with at least a point in that game.
Yeah, I was a little bit disappointed, but our performance was second to none, to quite honestly. We weren't afraid, and I think Bielsa knew what he was doing, and I think he came with a plan, and we did rattle you guys a bit. You was very surprised, and you were very surprised. When you lot took the lead, we retaliated quite quickly. We did, and that was something that you lot just didn't know how to deal with. But towards the end of the game, I think we'll get the point, and with Rodrigo, just giving a penalty where it did bring us a lot of disappointment because we were both watching that game that night as well, and it was could have been better, but. I was proud of the performance, despite the result. I was proud of the performance. I think it would be one of the top. I think it's one of the top opening day games of our lives in the Premier League's history, and probably one of the best fixtures in Premier League history as well, because it's second to none. Because we did not expect this was going to be a bit of a classic game.
Yeah, it was a fantastic spectacle as well. But obviously, times have changed. Liverpool have been sort of growing in self-belief, and Leeds have really sort of struggled. But I mean, going into tomorrow's game, or going into Wednesday's game, I should say. Where do you think you could get some joy in this game?
It's a good question, actually. It is a good question because I don't know where choice we could get for a game because don't even know. It's a hard one. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think it depends who. If it depends on the football who will change it again, because with what's going on with Raphina, if Bielsa drops in again, I think that's going to be a bit of another worry again. I think you're dropping it in 2 big games. What are you gonna? And that's a serious. And here it goes. I see one comment from my dad. Osball's at the bottom, so
the bystand.
Yeah.
Hello, Carl's dad. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, I've been sending the mix. He's been watching the last couple of days during the last week. So, no, it depends on how we choose a formation, how we start in the lineup. I think with Forshaw, we don't know how Klopp's going to come back. I don't think he's going to be out of the game because that's a chance he's not going to be playing now. I think the protocol rules should be a lot better. It should be better because it was disappointing how he stayed off a little bit longer, Yeah. So, but to be quite honest with you, we have to play Raphina and maybe Geldhart because I think you saw the difference it did do in that first 15 minutes of the first half. We saw there was a difference, and we saw that they can change games. So we do need to. I think Bielsa knows he has to start Geldhart up front, and that will make a difference. Geldhart can prove a little bit now. Again, he's shown that sign, and I can see a lot of big clubs in the future will want him because of how he can be a difference maker. But it has to be wings and a bit of our midfield as well as that strategy be the change. I do worry about our defense as well because with Firpo, as well. He had a good game, but he just don't look up properly when he knows opposition trying to get the ball off him. And that's another thing I thought, oh, please, Firpo's going to be the main difference if Man U score. He cost us 2 goals at least.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the game's Wednesday, Niall, so you'll need to give your prediction at some point, either today or tomorrow. So yeah, it's entirely up to you. And then he goes on to say Stephen Robinson. That's the ex-Motherwell manager. It was a Morecambe manager expected to be named as the new manager of St Mirren, who will replace Jim Goodwin, who took on the. Oh, interesting. I like
that
Stephen Robinson
because I think St Mirren had to make the move because we know Goodwin was going to go, so it was not a surprise in that one. I think I have to admit Aberdeen's a joke at the moment because after what's been going on, so I think they need to really push themselves up. And yeah,
absolutely. Don't blame Robertson for leaving that shit club. Well, to be honest with you, Chris, I don't know much about Morecambe. I don't know where they are in the league. So yeah, yeah, obviously good luck to Stephen Robinson. So, well, you were just sitting there on Saturday thinking what's going to happen between Manchester City and Tottenham. The title race is officially back on. City losing 3-2 to Tottenham, and Tottenham doing the double over Manchester City for, I think it's like the first time in a long, long time, probably in the Premier League era, I think. But obviously, correct me if I'm wrong. But do you think the momentum is now with Liverpool?
It sounds like it is now because I think Man City were not at their best on Saturday. I don't think they were, and I think. After what's been happening at Spurs with the interview that Conte did with the Italian media and so forth, he had to prove it, especially the players that he let go after losing 4. So you know what? It was a prove it for Conte because they were poor the last few games. They were really poor, and for that to go to City to get that win, I think the tides turned a little bit. I thought City was done with it, but it's gonna keep going. 1 week that Liverpool are out of it, and 1 week they're still back in it. This is going to be interesting. It's like what I said a few years ago on an old program we did. It's so much it will go to the last day of the season. I feel like this is going to go to the last day of the season.
Yeah.
Again. I think it's going to be a lot more closer, and I think Liverpool might maybe just edge it because City's going to be a situation is not having to strike up front. That is going to be the issue they're going to have. Is yes, they got other players that's going to have Bernardo Silva's in the form of his life, but if Liverpool's just bought Luis Diaz, who's been excellent as well. You see from Fabinho's, being his best season as well. Keita's improved a lot better, after the last few injuries he's had. And, the players are responding. They're not messing about. Mm-hmm. They're not messing about the season.
I think the thing is we signing Luis Diaz. I think we needed to sign that player. I think he's been fantastic since he's came in. Obviously making an assist in his first game against Cardiff, getting the goal against Norwich was a lovely finish as well. He's a difference maker. And I think that's the thing that City lack for me is an out-and-out striker. Liverpool don't really play with the out-and-out striker, but you don't really need to with the way that they've been playing as well. Plus, I think Pep will want the Champions League more this season as well.
It does, yeah.
Because City are wanting the Champions League. So, but it's as much as it is in their hands than it is in our hands. We win on Wednesday. It's back to 3 points. Absolutely fantastic. They go to Everton. That's not going to be an easy game. I know Everton are a bit of free fall, but when you look at that, like Frank Lampard was the last person to beat Manchester City with Chelsea. So these things can happen, and then City have got Manchester United, I think, on the 6th. That's not going to be an easy game. I think they've got a Palace. I think they've got Wolves coming up. I think they've got Brighton. With Brighton's record against the top 6 this season, especially going away from home, that's not a home banker. You'd have to say that Brighton would have a chance, but. I think if we're within about 3 points going into that City game, then it is definitely on. It is absolutely definitely on. But we have a tough run coming up for sure.
Yeah, you do.
Because we've got West Ham. We've got West Ham after you guys. We've got Arsenal. Brighton, West Ham at home, Brighton away, Arsenal away, Manchester United at home, and then for the life of me, I can't remember who the last game in March is, but
I think
it's not.
you have that. I think that is the last game. Liverpool with Manchester United, and then you go to April, so there is a bit of a break after that. So, yeah.
So yeah, if we're within 3 points by then, we will see what happens anyway. But
because looking at the last 9 games you got Watford after that, and then you got Man City on the 9th of April.
That for me is a title decider. That one.
Yeah, and then you go away to Villa, and then you home to Everton on the 23rd of April. Then you got Newcastle at the end of April, and you got Tottenham on the last home game, I think, and then you away at Southampton, and then your last home game's against Woes on the 22nd of May when City are at home to Villa. So it's going to be.
It's going to be. It's. There's definitely going to be twists and turns, for sure. But let's see what some of you are saying, because I have seen there's been a lot of comments. Conte masterclass. It was an absolutely fantastic performance from Spurs. Spurs and Liverpool fans are very good friends right now. Yes. Thank you, Spurs, but you're still bridesmaids on and off the pitch. Yes, they'll probably go back to shit now, knowing what happens with them. Let's kick these oil merchants, Man City to second. Sorry, City all of a sudden will have Champions League as distraction as well. They have to win at some point. Yeah, absolutely. But so will we. So will we as well. Say we'll beat Everton easily. Everton is relevant as plastic in a recycling bin. Yeah, don't let Tom hear you say that. With Wolves in good form, they want that fourth. I think Wolves going to take City. Interesting. Evening, everyone. George Kyle, thank you for tuning in. Guys, the World of Football podcast is back this evening. We will be back at 7 o'clock. It has been a long, long time since we've been on that, but I'm literally looking forward to that. So Liverpool have the easier run of both sides at this point. Yeah, I would agree with that. I'd absolutely agree with that. Demo Dre, I've not seen your face for a wee while. Man U and Everton will deliberately lose to City so Liverpool don't win the league. Manchester United.
I don't think Man U will. I don't think Man U will.
I don't think Manchester United will deliberately lose. No. I don't think they will. But you never know, because Manchester United have won the day ahead before, but they're very, very inconsistent, that is for sure. Evening, Douglas and Carl. Michael Talks Football. Thank you for tuning in. If Leeds lose, are they in trouble?
Michael, as I've been saying, it depends on our results. We have 4 games to win for mathematically. We need 4 games to win mathematically, but we may need at least 5 or 6 just to try to keep ourselves covered. I think it depends on how Burnley will respond after that win they had. Because they got games in hand, we haven't. And then Norwich, Watford a little bit. Norwich a little bit at the moment, going a bit up and down. But when Watford under Roy Hodgson, that's going to be interesting, because if their defense keeps improving, I think they will stay. But we need to have better results. We need to make sure we need to get the results that is vital for us. We've not got a lot of time on the fixtures. I'm looking at the Leeds United fixtures who got after the Liverpool Spurs game, and we have to go away to Leicester after the break, and then home to Villa, and then the home game to Norwich, then we're away to Wolves, and then 2 away games to Southampton, home game to Southampton, and away game to Watford, and then the big games against Chelsea on the 16th of April. Then we got Man City towards the end of the season on the 30th, and we got Arsenal as well on the way to the Emirates. So we need to get. I'm looking at the result fixtures now. I'd probably say 4 to 5 wins at the moment to try to stay up.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the gap at the bottom is getting very, very interesting. Norwich 17 with a minus 38 goal difference. Burnley with those 4 games in hand, 17 with a minus 9 goal difference. Watford 18 points, and then come Newcastle 17th, Everton 22, Leeds 23, Brentford 24, and I think it's probably between 14th to 20th to go down. I think that's probably Probably going to be that anyway. But let's see what some of you are saying. Oopsie daisy. Good evening, Andrew. Thank you for tuning in. Good sir. Hope you are doing very well as well. Manchester United need to win, but Everton are too shit to win against City. Never say never. Never say never. I'll say this now. Everton will not win another away game this season. I don't think they're going to win another away game. I think they'll probably win their home games, but not their away games. I don't see them doing that. I have a ghost cut. All these people saying Ronaldo is a flop. Like, look at Lukaku. Lukaku has been shocking for Chelsea.
Minutes. Yeah,
7 touches. 7 touches. Yeah. Your dad says no.
No, not least no. I have to keep the favourites like he is. So,
George Kyle says, "I think we have a better chance of taking points at the Etihad than Anfield." Yeah, I do. You've got a good record there. Michael talks football with the question of the night: when's Bamford and Phillips returning? Safest answer: don't know.
Not with Bamford. We don't know about Bamford's returning. That's a bit long. But Phillips, we're looking at it's going to be at least some point early March, around about early mid-March. We hopefully see him back in the squad, because that, we think his recovery's been better and it might be a little bit soon, but we think it's still at least March. But there's no date for Bamford at the moment because this injury is more significant than it was, and it's a lot longer. And we do get Cooper back as well, just at the same time as Phillips.
That's good news. That is good news. Hello, Jamie Phillips. Thank you for tuning in. I see a lot of banana skins for City compared. Yeah. Andrew Rogers saying, simple, Liverpool spank Leeds. Well, we'll see. We'll come to score predictions and starting 11s very, very shortly. Say Burnley away, for example. Yeah, that is a bit of a banana skin. We only won 1-0 there. Manchester United drew 1-1 as well. So it's going to be very, very intriguing. Burnley away is very hard. Yeah, absolutely. So I believe that the 3 going down will be Norwich, Watford, and Brentford. I still think Brentford will get out of it.
I think they will.
I'm just trying to see where, they've got Newcastle. That game against Newcastle the weekend is massive. Absolutely massive. But probably on current form, you'd have to say, yeah, probably Newcastle got a better chance of beating Brentford. But if you actually look at it, Brentford have got a good home record, so I think Brentford will be fine. I think Norwich are gone. I actually think Watford are going to be gone as well. They did beat Villa. But they're gone. And then I don't know, Burnley with Weghorst. One of those big teams is going to go down, but I cannot see. And it would be as hilarious as it would be. I cannot see Everton going down. Just can't see it.
No, it can't happen, to be honest. Yeah,
Ronaldo's been a flop, absolutely nonsense. Yes, whoever's been putting these pictures together with who's the biggest flop of the season? Ronaldo, Lukaku, and Grealish. Why put Ronaldo in there? Ronaldo has scored goals. Ronaldo has been good. Ronaldo is I think one of the top scorers in the Champions League. He ain't a flop. So I think it's just to get bait anyway. I said a couple of months ago that Brentford were in free fall and they can't stop losing. No, absolutely. Burnley will grind it out. I think so. 7 points behind, but 4 games in hand on Brentford for Burnley. Yeah, I mean, most of them have got, I think, Leicester, Everton, Tottenham. Oh, they play Tottenham on Tuesday, I think. Tuesday?
Yeah. Tuesday.
Or it might be Wednesday, actually. It might be Wednesday. But, it's going to be tight. I mean, Burnley against Newcastle is the final day of the season, so that will be really interesting. So if anyone's a flop this season, it's Messi. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Great. Messi has not been great. Burnley, Watford, Norwich.
Even Fred scored more goals than him.
Yeah. Burnley, Watford, Norwich for me as I predicted at the start of the season. You could be right. You could be absolutely right. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that the key players for me, Raphina for Leeds, probably Dan James for like pace as well. I would say Diaz for us, if he plays, of course, because and I would say Trent Alexander-Arnold if he comes back in as well. But right, let's get your starting 11. What is your starting 11 for Leeds on Wednesday?
It's Mezza, at the back. I think Struijk does has to play left back. I don't trust Fairpool, so that's fine. Struijk and Llorente, and I think Elland will be back on the right. Midfield, I think Forshaw will start again in that central midfield, in that defensive midfield. Click and Rodrigo in the middle. I will put Raphina on the right. I'm going to say Harrison on the left because I think Gerrard does not play. I think it will be Dan James up front.
Ooh, interesting. Interesting indeed.
Even I want to put Gerrard, but I know what Bielsa is going to do, so I will not even.
Yeah. I think it'll be Ali in goal. I think Trent will come back in. I am going to go. I think Kanate will come in. I think Kanate will come in for Matip. Van Dijk. I'm going to go Robertson to come back in. I think Robertson will come back in, and I think you'll see Fabinho come back in. I'm going to go Thiago. I'm going to go. Oh, do I go Henderson or do I go Elliot? I'm going to go Harvey Elliot, and then I think up front will be Mane, Diaz, Salah. I think it will be the same front three that played against Norwich that will play against Leeds. How impressed have you been with Luis Diaz since his arrival in English football?
The best buys you've got for a long time. I really do. Like I said, I knew that if Spurs try to take him, I thought this is not the right fit. I thought Liverpool had to step in because Liverpool were linked with Diaz for quite a while. So I knew this was the right fit, and he's been tremendous. And I think he is good. I think him and Jota are going to be the really good key futures for Liverpool going forward. When you get another Firmino time, I think you lot will be eclipsing what Sané and Mane and Firmino have done together the last few seasons. I think they will eclipse that.
Yeah, absolutely. Dan James scored recently away at Aston Villa. Happy to have signed him. Do you think Leeds will stay? Oh, Jesus Christ. Loads of questions. Well done on Leeds joining her game too. Yes, that is very, 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 very true. Right. Yeah, are you happy to have Dan James?
I'm happy with him. He's been tremendous, really, with his signing. He is a Bielsa type player that we needed, and he does run his socks off. He has determination, I think because we're back with Bale's leaving Real Madrid and probably retiring, I think now we're seeing that he's more like going to be the replacement for Gareth Bale. I think he has that figure, that moment to turn games around. And yeah, I'm happy with Dan James. I think he was £30 million worth. I know there was one person for Australia was on the agenda was having a go at me saying he's more better value than Sancho. What we did say, myself and Connor, we said Sancho's a good player, but not for the price tag. That's what we said. We didn't say, we didn't say it would prefer James Sancho because we love any type of player. But yeah, Dan James has been credible for us, and he does what he's sort of. I think he's been a huge fan's favourite since he joined the club.
Yeah, I think he's done an all right job, actually. I think he's done an all right job. You know what's nonsense? Those moronic United fans compare to Fred. Oh, Jesus. Look, Fred is having a good little spell recently. A couple of goals in there. Yeah, like Thiago's a game changer. But they're two different players. Anyway, Fred is clear. His name is Fred. All that needs to be said. You're flip-flop on him. Yeah. Do you think last match was difficult for Leeds because of rain, wind, and the pitch? No excuses for the conditions was difficult. Losing the player to injury. Yeah. What do you make of the PFA wanting to change the rules on the concussion? Because Robin Koch yesterday was flattened. I think it has to be said.
With the vision, when you said Fletcher, you say his vision was gone. It needs to be more better. We've been saying this for quite a while. There's not been enough clarity on the concussion substitutes because what we realised, if we did have to temporarily change them, it would have gave Man United an additional substitute. And I don't think Bielsa wanted to do that. I think we did do the checks, but I did see what was culture was like, and it was really quite, bad. And I think they have to change. The PFA and other organisations are now raising concern. And I think it will be discussed at the International Football Association board at some point soon, and they will have to change it because this is another situation that we don't want to go through again, where the rules are not properly cleared enough of the rules, because it's not good. It's not good for footballers who are still staying on the pitch. And a lot of people are saying that he should have just gone off, and I agree. Because wait here. I know Bielsa said it was more the bleeding, but it's got nothing to do with the bleeding. It was more than that. It was he just said he could have see. It wasn't that's not the sign of being blood. He just said I can't, the vision is going. So I think the rules changed. On the pitch as well, I think during the day before there was snow in West Yorkshire. It was because of West Yorkshire, me growing up there. We somehow got snow there the past weekend, and then the weather came down. When we just changed that,
it was a classic sort of early, it was a classic game of football. Actually, it was like a really old classic, like really bad pitch, wet, the snow. It was. I really enjoyed yesterday's game. Like as a neutral, obviously, watching that, it was actually a very, very good watch.
It was,
sure.
it was, but I have to admit, even though we just dug a new pitch and put a new drainage system as well too, it could have been better prepared, protected, but we could have. I think it was just the rain, because I think we could have done much more better. We got that resources, how we keep a pitch.
Balam, absolutely agree with you here. I don't see him hitting another 4-3. No, definitely not. Balam, the conditions aided Leeds. Alisson, Arnold, Konate, Van Dijk, Robertson, Fabinho, Keita, Thiago, Salah, Diaz, Mane. Interesting. Dear. I got for Keita because need legs in the midfield versus Leeds. Not a problem. Good evening, Statman Stubbs. I will be on Statman Stubbs' channel at 9 o'clock as well for another Liverpool Leeds preview. So that should be very, very interesting as well. So busy night ahead. Anyway, Alisson, Trent, VVD, Konate, Robertson, Fab, Thiago, Elliot, Diaz, Salah, Mane. I would Jota, but not sure. No, Jota's not going to be fit. He could be back for the final, though. Klopp said, I think at his press conference, I think on Friday, I think he said something about potentially Jota being fit for the final. Firmino, he doesn't have a clue because that's a muscle injury. So be interesting. Be very, very interesting to see if both of them make up for sure. Sancho has been excellent recently. You have to say he has been excellent recently. So definitely. Alisson, Trent, Alexander, Van Dijk, Konate, Robertson, Fabinho, Thiago, Hendo, Diaz, Salah, Mane. Interesting. Henderson starts versus Chelsea in the cup final. I think he will start. Yeah, I do think he will start. Mark Tommy is massively clumsy, and that was stupidity on that chat. Yeah, I'm surprised he was still on the pitch, if I'm being honest. I know he did get a yellow card, but he did get away with persistent fouling. He did. Although I have to say, I didn't think the referee had a great game.
No, it was quite bad.
So, yeah. Liverpool 4, Leeds 0. My prediction, just fancy just to score a few past Leeds with the way they defend. It could be that kind of game again. It could be attack versus defense. It could be one of those games. Hello, Elevator and Escalator fan. I can't believe I predicted Manchester City Tottenham correctly. I predicted 3-2 Spurs. Wow. Hats off to you for predicting that. I'll need to go back and watch the prediction stream, but I seem to remember you did say that. So well done, Elevator and Escalator fan. So before I let you go, what is your score prediction for Wednesday?
Oh, don't go me there with that one. Oh God, I don't want to see. I'd be realistic now. Actually, I'd be a lot more realistic with my predictions after the start of the season. Listen, I know what you're going to go for. You're going for a little bit of a high score. So I'm going to say at least just a 1-1 draw. I just feel like
1-1 draw.
That's all I can say. But I know it's going to be more than that. I'm just saying, be realistic with myself and just like, But I don't want to say a loss to Leeds. I just can't do that. I can't do that against the whole side.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting as well. I am going to go 3-1 to Liverpool. I think you guys will score. I can see Raphina potentially getting on the score sheet, but I think just our attack will be way too much for your defence, your leaky defence. And I have to say, I've been a little bit disappointed in Meslier. I must admit, I watched the game against Manchester United yesterday, and I felt he didn't have a great game. But he's not as bad as bloody Hugo Lloris is. Anyway,
Right.
let me just say
that. I'm gonna be the defense ball here. He's only 21. What more do you expect from these goalkeepers? I'm gonna watch the special one goalkeeper on BT Sport Fields later on this week. But why were we playing keepers? I think the first goal, it was more Llorente because Llorente was not looking up and seeing, probably Michael Maguire. The second goal, it went under him. The weather was so atrocious. You can't. So it went under him. He could have done better, but the weather was atrocious. So a lot of the Leeds players.
I think he should do better for the Fred goal. I'll say that he should do better for the Fred goal.
He did have a touch he did try to stop it, but there was a touch, but he did move his hand closer. So I get that. Yeah. Okay, could have been better, but blame it on Firpo because Firpo's the one who's just.
Yeah, he's not been the best of signing. Michael talks.
Yeah, he's had 11 clean sheets though. That's the difference. He's had 11 clean sheets last season, the age 21.
Yeah, Michael is asking, do you think Bielsa will stay after this season?
It's a tough one. I don't think I'm going to draw the conclusions towards the end of the season. I don't think it'd be the right time for me to say it. It will have to be. I'll just going to play on the. I'm playing on the edge. I'm not going to say nothing till the last game of the season after against Brentford. We'll discuss it back then if he does. But I'm not going to say nothing at the moment. And as well, it's Bielsa has a legendary status already. It's already been cemented at Elland Road. I just wouldn't say nothing at the moment because we don't want to disrespect the manager that we really trust. Yeah,
definitely. Absolutely. Liverpool 5, Leeds 1. Elliot will get revenge. I don't think it'll be 5-1. I can say that for now. I don't see it being 5-1, but you just never know. I predicted that in the last live stream when I said Man City would slip. Well done, Elevator and Escalator fan. Now, Ken going 3-0 Liverpool for me, guys. But you just never know with Leeds. No, absolutely not. George Kyle also going for Liverpool 3, Leeds 0. Elevator and Escalator fan think it's going to be a little bit closer with 2-1. Joshua FIFA King is going Liverpool 6, Leeds United 1. I don't think it's going to be 6-1, but...
Hey, we lost 7-0 to Man City, so...
That's true. That is very true. Melia has next to no defense. Oh, yeah.
Hey, Google, shut up. Sorry, my Google set off, actually. I didn't even say nothing, so...
Oh, your Google just went off.
Yeah.
He's had to make has to make the second most saves of any Premier League keeper this season. Yeah, isn't De Gea number 1 for that? I believe De Gea might be number 1 for the.
De Gea is number 1, and Meslier is number 2.
De Gea has made the most. Yeah, there we go. Hello, Ravi. Big up. Should be beating Leeds. Really? Yeah, definitely. Liverpool 4-0. Says Shane. Interesting. Obviously that's not next week, but the week after. I'm not sure now. To be honest with you, I'm not sure. But I'll obviously let you know. I predicted 6-1 Liverpool against Leeds during Christmas when the game was postponed. Ooh, interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. Carl, it's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you about obviously Liverpool and Leeds, and obviously. Apart from this game, obviously, I wish you the best of luck for the rest of the season. And I don't see you going down. I think there's 4 worser teams down there at the moment. So I think anyway. But tell everyone where they can find you on the socials.
You can find me you can find me on Instagram at KOHoods92. You can find me on Twitter at KarlLever92. And you can find our channel, our podcast, the Total Lever Hall Football Podcast, on the podcast services on Google and Apple, and you can find us on Facebook as well, and on Twitch, and also on Twitter at LH Football Pod as well. So yes, and we are trying to get back on content. You and I, we're going to try to sort it out. Hopefully for next week, we'll discuss some stuff to get back. So because I'm now going to find a bit of a more strategic time on my shift pattern now. So
yeah, that does sound very, very good. Yeah, guys, please go and check out the Totally Horne and LIVLEE podcast because we will be putting some content on there. We just don't know when, but we'll get that sorted. Anyway, George Carlson, great stream, everyone. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Yes, I will be back in about an hour's time with the return of the World of Football podcast. We'll be looking back on the Premier League, looking back on the Bundesliga, may mention the AFCON as well. So lots to look forward to as well. Great show, guys. Big up Douglas and Carl. Thank you. Correct, Douglas is your dad. Race is a legend after the Kirk photo. Oh, that was hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Yeah, I'll tell you off stream about that because that was absolutely funny.
Actually, yeah.
That was absolutely funny. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Do what you can to support the channel as well. I'll be back in about an hour's time. But no, the podcast will not be 4 hours now. I can't do a podcast for 4 hours. Let me just say that.
Listen, we did a radio show for 3 hours, and that was a bit of a... Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite impressive anyway. Bloody hell, I'm playing Liverpool career mode and I'm losing to fucking Crystal Palace. Yeah, that's a Jurgen Klopp quote, that. No, podcast will not be 4 hours. Oh God, am I on TikTok? I do have a TikTok, but I hardly ever use it. So probably not one to look at anyway. Take care. Yes, guys, if you obviously tune into in an hour's time, actually, I will get the link for that for the World of Football podcast, and I'll put it in the live chat because I think it's probably better for me to do that. So let me just get that in the live chat just now. Do I have Bebo? Bloody hell, no, not anymore.
Bebo
not anymore.
Bebo,
that was a lot.
I know they were on the version come back one time, but yeah.
I used to have MSN. I did used to have MSN. I'll safely say that. But yeah, guys, there is the link to the World of Football podcast. I will be back in about an hour's time. But until then, it is goodbye from the both of us, and enjoy the rest of your evenings. And yeah, I will see you guys at 7 o'clock. Thank you for watching, and it's goodbye.